Hello and welcome. So in today's video I'm going to talk about the CEH Certified Ethical Hacker exam and curriculum. We'll go into the different areas of topics that you need to learn and understand. So if you go through an accredited training course, they will guide you accordingly, but if you are doing self-studies, these are the main areas that are covered during the exam, and that's where you should concentrate and focus on during your self-studies. But before we get into it, if you don't mind hitting that like button and subscribe to my channel, I would really appreciate it. So the CEH, or Certified Ethical Hacker certification, is one of the most valuable IT certifications out there. It is a 4-hour exam with 125 questions, so it's quite difficult. It's not cheap. You even have to pay $100 for the application fee. That's a non-refundable fee, and the actual certification fee itself is almost $1,200. So it's $1,199 that you have to pay. So you can already see from the pricing and the procedures you have to go through, this is not your standard certification. So there's a lot of value in this certification. If you do not know what the CEH certification stands for, I will link to another video up here that you can take a look and really get a good understanding. What is the Certified Ethical Hacker certification? What value does it provide? And why you should go and get certified as a CEH Certified Ethical Hacker. So if you take a look at the certification exam for the CEH certification, there's a total of 9 areas that you need to focus on. So the first area is Reconnaissance Techniques, and that's really looking at footprinting, scanning the networks, enumeration, and we're looking here at the NetBIOS, SNMP, LDAP, NTP, NFS, SMTP, DNS, and quite a few other areas. The next area is the system hacking phases and attack techniques. So we're looking at the vulnerability analysis, system hacking, malware threats. So this is the critical area once the attacker has certain piece of information where the attacker goes and starts the cyber attack. And so that's really where in the exam you learn about these techniques. So the system attacking phases, as an example, are really critical because that also helps you as the ethical hacker to provide a report back with how can you prevent these type of attacks. So it's really a critical area for this exam. There's a lot of emphasis in this area. So I want to make sure that you really know that there is a lot of time that you need to spend in studying these areas. So the third area that is covered during the exam is the network and parameter hacking. So here we go past the standard phases. So now we're looking at the network and how you can get access to the network. So it starts with like sniffing or social engineering, where you are trying to obtain access credentials and then use those to potentially start your attack. Then a denial of service attack that not just takes a system down, that potentially creates a buffer overflow that then would allow you to potentially hack into those systems. Then it goes about session hijacking, so where you, let's say you create a web session and your session gets hijacked and the attacker potentially can obtain your login credentials to a website or whatever it is. And then of course, how do you evade an IDS, a firewall, or a honeypot? In case you do not know, IDS stands for Intrusion Detection System. The fourth area of interest that you need to look at is the web application hacking. And here you're looking at how can you hack into a web server? How can you hack into certain web applications? And a lot of web applications and web servers are using database servers on the back end. And how can you do a SQL injection attack against that database server and then potentially take ownership of the system and really execute your attack? The next area that you need to learn about and that you are questioned about during the CEH exam is wireless network hacking. So wireless is one of those areas where it's almost like an El Dorado environment in many ways. A lot of wireless networks are still very unsecured and the technology itself is not really that secure. So depending on what you do and what environment you are trying to hack into, a wireless attack can be your easiest way into a network, and then you can execute the broader attack. The next area of interest is mobile, IoT, and OT hacking. So mobile is just like mobile devices, and IoT, Internet of Things, so those could be like home thermostats that are connected to the internet. And OT stands for operational technology. So you're really trying to find a different access point into a network or to obtain access data and then execute the attack once you have obtained this data. And then cloud computing is the next area. Cloud computing is really one of those big areas today where a lot of applications are moving from an on-prem environment into the cloud. And with the move into the cloud, a lot of critical data is sitting in the cloud and needs to be secured. So if you gain access to a cloud system of a company or a provider of some sort, there is usually a lot of critical data that needs to be protected. And of course, the more of interest that data is, the more and the more sophisticated the attacks that are being executed against these type of systems. So cloud systems, Amazon, AWS, Microsoft Azure, Google Cloud, GCP, there are quite a few really, and it's really, you need to have that broader understanding. And if you start working in one of those areas as a penetration tester or ethical hacker, you need to understand that environment-specific knowledge and obtain it so that you can really start do your work as an ethical hacker, but then also provide the report back and really secure those areas. Okay, the next item we're talking about is cryptography. Cryptography really goes into securing data, so like disk encryption or email encryption, these type of things. So it's a really important topic that you need to learn about. And if you counted correctly, you notice that I only gave you 8 areas of interest. So these are the subject matter expertise areas. The first area, and probably the easiest one for this exam, is the basic introduction into information security and ethical hacking, and the idea behind ethical hacking and the overall introduction to this area. So those are the 9 areas that you need to learn about if you want to go and pass the CEH, the Certified Ethical Hacker Certification exam. As mentioned previously, the application fee is $100. The exam fee is about $1,200. You need about 2 years of experience, work experience in information security or very closely related area before you can go and apply for the certification. If you do not have this work expertise, the work knowledge, then you need to go through one of the accredited training centers and training courses before you can apply to take this exam. So I hope this introduction gives you a good idea of what to expect if you would go and take the CEH certification exam. Information security is very complex. The areas that I talked about, I only talked about in a really high level. So do not underestimate the difficulty of this exam. So I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please do so as well. I would really appreciate it. And then I hope to see you in my next video. Thank you for watching and have a great day. Bye-bye.